For centuries, the British royal family has been synonymous with a particular brand of stoicism, a stiff upper lip mentality that values composure, duty, and emotional restraint above all. Public displays of vulnerability were not just rare, they were often considered a breach of royal protocol. This tradition made the events of recent years all the more remarkable, as Prince William, the future king, has repeatedly and publicly shown a depth of emotion that has captivated global attention and signaled a profound shift within the monarchy. From fighting back tears while discussing the trauma of suicide to candidly admitting the profound grief he feels for his late grandmother, Queen Elizabeth II, William's emotional openness marks a historic departure from the rigid norms of his forebears. These moments are not mere slips in decorum, they are deliberate, powerful acts of modern leadership. They reflect a prince and the future king who understands that in a world grappling with mental health crises and collective grief, true strength lies in empathy and shared humanity. This article explores the key moments where Prince William's emotions came to the fore, analyzing their impact on public perception, the monarchy's future, and the global conversation on mental health. To fully appreciate the weight of William's displays, one must first understand the immense personal pressures he has faced. In a revealing interview with actor Eugene Levy for Apple TV Plus's The Reluctant Traveler, William himself named the period from 2023 to 2024 as the hardest year I've ever had. This admission alone was significant, breaking the royal mold of silent endurance. Charles III were publicly battling cancer, placing the family in a state of anxious uncertainty and demanding private strength. Concurrently, the long-standing rift with his brother, Prince Harry, persisted, a painful private matter amplified by relentless global media scrutiny. Harry's own emotional court testimony in January 2025, where he fought back tears describing how UK media made his wife Meghan's life an absolute misery, served as a public reminder of the deep familial wounds that remain unhealed. Compounding these private struggles were the relentless public duties of a senior royal and heir to the throne, which included navigating controversies not of his making, such as being heckled during a public engagement in Scotland over the royal family's association with Prince Andrew. It was against this backdrop of personal grief, familial strain, and public duty that William's most vulnerable moments occurred, making them not signs of weakness, but testaments to his humanity. Tears for a Stranger, the Suicide Prevention Conversation. Perhaps the most raw and impactful display came in October 2024, when Kensington Palace released a video of Prince William in conversation with Rhian Mannings, a campaigner from South Wales. The meeting, filmed to mark World Mental Health Day and the launch of a new national suicide prevention network, saw William visit Mannings at her home. Her story was one of profound tragedy. In 2012, she lost her one-year-old son, George, to an undiagnosed illness. 5 days later, her husband, Paul, died by suicide, consumed with guilt over their son's death. The conversation was gentle and profound. William, listening intently, asked Mannings what she would say to her late husband if she could. Her answer was heartbreakingly simple. "Why didn't you come to me? He's missed out on just so much joy, and we would have been okay." As she spoke these words, the camera captured William's reaction. His face contorted with empathy, his eyes glistening with unshed tears. He looked away, struggling to compose himself. "Are you okay?" Mannings asked him in a poignant role reversal. "It's hard to ask these questions," William replied, his voice thick with emotion. He later reached his hand across the table in a gesture of shared sorrow. In that moment, the prince was not a distant figurehead. He was a father, a husband, and a man who has himself experienced traumatic loss with the death of his mother, Diana. Mannings acknowledged the shared ground, telling him, "You've got children. It's hard, and you've experienced loss yourself." The decision to release this unedited, emotional footage was a strategic and meaningful departure from traditional royal communications. It sent a powerful message. Talking about suicide and mental anguish is not shameful. The best way to prevent suicide is to talk about it. Talk about it early. Talk about it with your loved ones, Williams stated in the video, modeling the very vulnerability he advocated for. This moment did more than promote a cause. It redefined royal public engagement, proving that authentic emotion can be a catalyst for change. Prince William's emotional moments are far more than fleeting news stories. They are calculated, powerful acts of modern statecraft and personal integrity. In a single year, by shedding tears for a widow's unimaginable loss and by openly longing for his departed grandmother, he has rewritten the royal playbook. He has demonstrated that the stiff upper lip can relax to speak words of comfort, and that a king's heart can be both a private refuge and a public asset. In showing his vulnerability, Prince William has not revealed weakness. He has showcased a profound and resonant strength. He has touched the world not by being impervious to pain, but by being human enough to feel it and brave enough to show it. This may well be his most enduring legacy as he prepares to wear the crown, a monarch who redefined royal strength as the courage to care, deeply and visibly, for the people he is destined to lead. A different, more reflective form of emotion was displayed during William's appearance on The Reluctant Traveler with Eugene Levy. While giving Levy a tour of Windsor Castle, even using an e-scooter to get around, the conversation turned to William's late grandparents. When Levy asked if he missed Queen Elizabeth II, William's reply was immediate and heartfelt. He spoke of the permanence of their absence, especially in a place so deeply connected to them. You think about them not being here anymore, and particularly being in Windsor. For me, Windsor is her, he said, his tone wistful. She loved it here. Showing you around today is very much a case of trying to make sure I'm doing it in the way she'd want you to see it. This was not the tears of shared pain seen with Rhian Manning's, but the quiet, enduring ache of personal grief. For a future king to publicly admit such longing, to frame his current duties as an act of homage to his grandmother, was a significant softening of the monarchical image. It connected the crown to the universal experience of missing loved ones. In doing so, William bridged the gap between the sovereign's symbolic role and the individual's private heart, allowing the public to see the man behind the title. The cumulative effect of these moments cannot be overstated. For generations, the royal family operated under an unwritten code. Emotions were private, duty was paramount, and public composure was non-negotiable. This stiff upper lip was seen as a strength, a necessary insulation for an institution that must endure beyond the lifespan of any individual. Prince William is consciously challenging this norm. His emotional openness is a clear signal of the kind of monarchy he intends to lead. In his conversation with Eugene Levy, he hinted at this vision for change, expressing his desire to modernize the monarchy and hoping it doesn't go back to some of the practices in the past that he and Harry grew up with. His displays of vulnerability are a direct repudiation of those outdated practices. This shift does not diminish the dignity of the crown, it recalibrates it for a 21st century audience. In an era where global discussions about mental health demand leaders who can empathize, William's approach is acutely relevant. He is leveraging his unique platform to model healthy emotional expression for men, for fathers, and for leaders worldwide. By showing that a future king can cry, can grieve, and can be emotionally affected by the pain of others, he is expanding the very definition of royal strength. The global reaction to William's vulnerability has been overwhelmingly positive, reflecting a public hungry for genuine connection with its leaders. The footage with Rhian Manning's was widely praised for its raw honesty. Mental health advocates highlighted how a future king's visible empathy could destigmatize conversations about suicide, especially among men and in communities where such topics are taboo. The video cut through the usual royal media coverage, sparking meaningful discussions far beyond traditional royal watchers. Comments on social media and in news articles following his Reluctant Traveler appearance were filled with warmth and identification. People saw in William a grandson they could relate to, missing his beloved granny. It fostered a sense of shared national and personal grief, strengthening his bond with the public in a way that formal ceremonies often cannot. William's approach also stands in stark contrast to the ongoing narrative surrounding his brother, Prince Harry. While Harry has also been openly emotional, most recently in his court testimony, his revelations have often been framed in the context of conflict with the institution. William's moments, by contrast, are carefully integrated into his royal duties, using his position to advance causes, thereby strengthening the institution from within. Prince William's emotional transparency offers the clearest blueprint yet for his future reign. It is a style of leadership that balances unwavering duty with compassionate humanity. He is pioneering what might be called the William Way, a monarchy that is service-oriented, emotionally intelligent, and unafraid to show its human side when it serves a greater purpose. This is not about constant public weeping, but about strategic, authentic moments of connection that reinforce core values: mental health advocacy, family, and service. It suggests a king who will lead not just from the throne, but from the heart. As he continues to navigate his path to the crown, these moments of vulnerability will likely become a defining feature of his public persona, helping to steer a Hardanger Casto through the complexities of the modern world by reminding everyone of the common humanity it ultimately represents.